Aaron Rodgers didn't say he's coming back. No official news was released, but one simple comment from Mike McCarthy changed the conversation. Did the answer come out before anyone meant to say it? February 3rd into the early hours of February 4th was not supposed to answer any major questions. It was meant to be routine, media availability, introductions, philosophy, general talk about culture and direction. Instead, a few carefully chosen words may have quietly shifted the entire outlook of the Pittsburgh Steelers' 2026 season. The moment came during a discussion about the wide receiver room. New head coach Mike McCarthy was asked how he planned to develop a group that has shown flashes but lacked consistency. His answer was measured and deliberate. He spoke about timing, about trust, about how receivers grow faster when the quarterback relationship is already established. Then he said something that immediately raised eyebrows. Playing with Aaron last year is something we can build off because there's not going to be a whole lot different. It was not shouted, it was not emphasized, it was not framed as news. It was said as if it were already understood, and that is exactly why it mattered. For months, the future of Aaron Rodgers has been clouded by uncertainty. Retirement has hovered over every discussion. Rodgers has never rushed these decisions. He has spoken openly in the past about reflection, balance, and knowing when the time is right. Even after strong seasons, he has allowed doubt to linger. Teams that work with him understand that nothing is final until he says it is. That context is critical. Coaches around the league are trained to speak carefully when quarterback futures are unclear. Words like maybe, potentially, we will see, or if he is back are standard. McCarthy used none of them. He spoke in terms of continuity. He spoke as if the quarterback was already accounted for. He spoke as if the offense was not facing a transition at its most important position. The reaction was immediate. Fans heard confirmation. Analysts heard a slip. Social media heard certainty. Within minutes, the quote was being shared with one interpretation attached to it. Aaron Rodgers is coming back. Not just likely, not hopeful, certain. But professional football rarely works that cleanly. To understand why this comment carries weight without serving as proof, it helps to understand how teams operate behind the scenes. When a coaching staff is hired, especially one with McCarthy's experience, there is extensive discussion about roster outlook. Coaches do not walk into a job blind. They are told what the organization believes is the most likely scenario. They plan accordingly. They build systems not on hope, but on probability. The Steelers, by all indications, are acting as if Rodgers will play in 2026. That does not mean Rodgers has signed paperwork. It does not mean a public announcement has been scheduled. It means the internal expectation has shifted from uncertainty to confidence. That distinction matters. Rodgers is not a player who lets others speak for him lightly. If he had already decided to retire, the team would know. If he were strongly leaning that direction, the language coming from the coaching staff would reflect caution. McCarthy's words reflected neither. They reflected comfort. This is where the situation becomes nuanced. It is entirely possible that Rodgers has told the organization he intends to play, even if he has not yet made that intention public. Quarterbacks of his stature often prefer to control the timing and messaging of such announcements. They do not want speculation to dictate the narrative. They want the moment to land when they choose. It is also possible that Rodgers has not given a formal confirmation, but has expressed enough confidence privately that the team feels safe planning forward. And there is a third possibility that cannot be ignored. McCarthy may have intentionally chosen language designed to project stability. New head coaches inherit uncertainty whether they want it or not. Quarterback doubt can affect free agency conversations, player confidence, and locker room belief. Speaking as if the quarterback is settled sends a message to everyone listening. This is a stable situation. This is not a rebuild. This is not a placeholder year. That message has value even if the decision is not yet official. Still, this was not a random coach. This was Mike McCarthy, a coach with a long history tied to Rodgers, a coach who understands how closely every word will be analyzed when his former quarterback is involved. If anyone knows how loaded that name is, it is him. That is why the comment feels heavier than normal coach speak. It was not speculative. It was not framed as hope. It was framed as a foundation. And foundations are not built on guesswork. The Steelers' offense in 2025 showed signs of growth under Rodgers. Timing improved as the season went on. Receivers adjusted routes with more confidence. Pre-snap communication became smoother. Those are things that only happen when a quarterback is fully engaged and planning beyond the present moment. McCarthy referencing that progress as something to build off implies that the work is not done. It implies continuity, it implies another chapter. But public confirmation still matters. Until Rodgers speaks, everything remains technically unofficial. NFL history is full of moments where internal expectations did not survive personal reflection. Rodgers has earned the right to change his mind. He has exercised that right before. That is why caution still applies. Yet this situation feels different from past years. There is less ambiguity in tone, less philosophical distance, more operational certainty. Teams that expect retirement prepare differently. They draft differently. They speak differently. They avoid tying development plans to a specific quarterback. The Steelers did not avoid it. They leaned into it. That alone does not confirm anything, but it strongly suggests alignment between the quarterback and the organization. Another factor is timing. If Rodgers were seriously considering retirement, allowing a new head coach to speak as if he were returning would create unnecessary confusion. Rodgers has always been conscious of optics. He has pushed back when narratives misrepresent his intentions. Silence in this moment is telling, not because it confirms return, but because it allows the expectation to stand. And expectations shape reality in the NFL. Free agents listen, players listen, coordinators listen. When a head coach speaks confidently about quarterback continuity, people believe him unless proven otherwise. This is why the quote matters beyond the words themselves. It signals that the Steelers are not hedging. They are not bracing. They are not preparing for a farewell. They are preparing for another season with Aaron Rodgers under center. If that turns out to be wrong, adjustments will be made. But organizations rarely speak this confidently unless they believe the risk is minimal. That belief likely comes from conversations the public has not heard. The most responsible interpretation is not that McCarthy accidentally broke news. It is that he revealed how the team is operating internally. Those are two very different things. The Steelers believe Rodgers will play in 2026. That belief does not require a press release to be meaningful. If Rodgers returns, this moment will be remembered as the first quiet confirmation. Not because it announced anything, but because it showed the assumption was already in place. If he does not, it will be remembered as a coach speaking from confidence that ultimately proved premature. But in the NFL, confidence without information rarely lasts. For now, the only certainty is this. The Steelers are acting like Aaron Rodgers is not done. Mike McCarthy spoke like a coach building forward, not preparing for an ending. And when organizations talk that way, it usually means the most important decision has already been made, even if the rest of the world has not been told yet. Until Rodgers speaks, the question remains open. But the door no longer feels halfway closed.